What should be the definition of a home? A home should be a place where life begins and love never ends. A place where there is endless flow of love, sublime love, unconditional love. This is an amazing story of Coolie named Bobby, who covered an elongated journey through the rocky snowy mountains in the middle of peak winters, and his journey ended once he landed up in Silverton, Oregon. What's the definition of a home and family? In very simple words, where life begins and love never ends. The unflinching love and loyalty of Coolie named Bobby, who undertook long, arduous journey crossing the snow-covered Rocky Mountains in the middle of winter, ended when he returned home, reuniting with his family in Silverton, Oregon. For Bobby, lost and separated from his family, it took 6 months to find his way home. But that was because all by himself, he traveled some 2,000 miles, that's approximately 3,200 kilometers, to get reunited with his family. During the summer of 1923, Frank and Elizabeth Brazier, with their daughters Leona and Nova, set out on a visiting tour to a family friend in Walcott, Indiana, along with Bobby. On the way, they halted at a gas station. Unfortunately, their 2-year-old Bobby was attacked by 3 dogs. Petrified for his life, he fled the spot and got lost. Despite an exhaustive search, all efforts were failed. Heartbroken, they resumed the journey back again. When they returned back to Oregon, their home, they had lost complete hope of ever seeing Bobby again. In February 1924, 6 months later, Bobby returned to Silverton, mangy, dirty, scrawny, with his toenails worn down to nothing. He showed all the signs of having walked the entire distance, including swimming rivers and crossing the Continental Divide during the coldest part of winters. During his ordeal, he crossed at least 2,551 miles, that's approximately 4,105 kilometers of plain, desert, mountains in the winter to return home, an average of approximately 14 miles, 23 kilometers per day. Bobby stopped for a short period of rest with friendly families along the way. But no matter how the friendly families were, Bobby kept to his westward journey until he finally reached his destination, home. After his return to Silverton, he shot to meteoric fame. The story drew national attention and was featured in newspaper articles, magazines, including Ripley's Believe It or Not. Books were written, and the movie The Call of the West produced. He received hundreds of letters from around the world and was honored with a jewel-studded harness and collar, ribbons and key to the city. People who had fed and sheltered Bobby on his journey wrote to the family to tell about their time spent with Bobby. The Human Society of Portland was able to use these stories to assemble a relatively precise description of the route Bobby took. The Human Society concluded that after returning to Walcott and unable to find his owners, Bobby initially followed their further travel into northeast Indiana. He then struck out in different directions, apparently seeking their scent. He eventually headed west. During their original trip, the Braziers had parked their car in a service station each night. Their dog visited each of these stops on their journey, along with numbers of homes and homeless camps. In Portland, an Irish woman took care of him for a period of time, helping him recover from serious injuries to his legs and paws. In 1927, 3 years after reuniting with his family, he met with his demise. He was buried with honors at Oregon Human Society's Pet Cemetery of Portland. A week later, German Shepherd film star Rin Tin Tin laid a wreath at his grave. His grave is sheltered by a fancy white and red doghouse received during a promotional appearance at the Portland Home Show. The gravestone has been moved outside for better viewing. Bobby's demonstration of loyalty is celebrated during Silverton annual Children's Pet Parade that serves as a reminder of the special place animals and pets have in people's lives. The event was started several years after Bobby's death, and the first parade was led by his son Paul.
No wonder it's aptly said that the world would be so much nicer a place if everybody had the ability to love as unconditionally as a dog.